This next set is a series of exercises you can do with a foam roller. Again, this is spinal related, trying to get a little bit more extension in my spine, a little bit better rotation in my spine. These things can feel pretty good as well. You might find that you get little adjustments in your spine as you do it. That's usually a very good sign. It's just things getting back to where they need to be, and it frees up a lot of muscle tension in your back. So the first one is, and you can use any foam roller, it doesn't have to be this one. There's many different varieties. First one is, I like to keep my hands like so to expose the tissue on either side of my spine. So I can keep my hands here and also to support my head so it doesn't get strained. I like to lift my hips up and then I'll just roll. And I'll roll from the lower rib to way up and above the shoulder blades. And again, I don't think you heard that, but there were a couple of pops in there along the way already. And you can do this for, 30 seconds or so. Try to keep your hips up, okay? When you're finished with that, I like to drop my hips for this next one. And I'm going to extend out over the roller. So I'm not really curling down. It might look that way, but my focus is to move out. And try to just extend my spine over the roller. And then I roll with my piston with my feet to the next vertebrae, and I'll repeat it. And then I'll go to the next vertebrae, and repeat. And what I like to do with the breath is breathe in on this portion, and breathe out when I go into flexion. And I will do this right until I get to the last rib. I really don't like to do this into the lower back. It's usually exquisitely tender on most people, number one. But secondly is that I'm not really looking to improve lumbar extension in most people. Most people have a lot of lumbar extension. So I'm not really looking to facilitate that. The next one is going to be the child pose. And in a previous video, I showed you how to do the child pose without a foam roller. Sometimes I like to do it with a foam roller. I feel like I get a little bit better scapular stabilization with this. And the scapular is right in here, your shoulder blades, and how they move on your back. So what I do is I get into this position, I like my palms face up, and I will roll this out. I'm trying to keep my hips back behind me. I don't want to do this. I want to stay down on my heels, and then I press down into the roller and roll it back into me. And so every time I do this, I'm trying to see if I can get my chest down a little bit deeper to the floor. It's not going to get there, but that's my focus. So I'm trying to get extension into my spine. It's helping to loosen up the lat muscles, again through here, which is very desirable. When the lats get too tight, they can act as internal rotators of your shoulders and get you into this posture. So it's important to keep them loose. The next one is again based off of the yoga form of threading the needle. You need a smaller roller for this. And the reason is that you're going to, again, keep your hand up. You're going to roll this, turn your head, and roll it back. And when I roll it back, I'm actually pressuring down into the roller with my forearm. I like that. It creates a lot of stability in the shoulder. And then you turn and do the other side. The last one is what I like to do for the quads. And the quads are a muscle group which is commonly foam rolled. You see this everywhere you go. I like to do it slightly differently than what you might find elsewhere. I like to do what's called an active release pattern. So I'm not going to be on my IT band. I'm not a fan of rolling that out. I think it just creates more trouble than it's worth. You need to be angled towards the roller, and you're going after this big vastus lateralis muscle here. And you're going to roll it, and you're going to find a tender spot. And when you find that tender spot, let's say there's one right there, you're going to stick it, and you're just going to flex and extend your knee. Flexing and extending my knee. After I do this like 6 or 8 times, it's going to feel less tender and more like pressure. When I'm finished with that, then I'm going to find another tender spot along that quad. Let's say there's one there, the same thing, and I'll repeat. So most times people use the foam roller for their quad and they will just roll it. It's not a bad idea, but I like the more pin and stretch technique, the active release technique better. Thank you.